Hello, welcome back to my channel, Divine Libra Wisdom. Finally back again with some check-in readings. I'm going to switch it up a little bit again, but it's not too much different. But I think this will be a lot better going forward for me personally, just to do it that way. So these will be, I will be doing just monthly check-in readings for signs Cancer, Taurus, and Libra. I think it will just be a better fit for me. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do going forward. I'm going to start with Cancer since it's Cancer season. Yeah. So before I get into everything, I'm gonna go ahead and get my disclaimers out of the way and go from there. All right. So, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. If you're returning to the channel, I thank you so much as well. Whichever group you fall into, hopefully you will consider subscribing to the channel so that way you know when I drop new videos. What else? Yeah, as you listen, it's been a minute since I've done these, so a couple of weeks anyway. So it's kind of like, what do I say? No, but as you're following along, listening along, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you're leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you are sharing the video out to anyone who may have these placements or who may simply just enjoy tarot. Also, I know people like to cross watch for different signs of their significant others, friends, etc., etc. So yeah, do all the things. Subscribe. Okay. The decks that I'm using, these right here, as well as my affirmation cards over there, they will be in the description box below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, I am open to that. That information and how to go about doing that will be in the description box as well. Okay. As far as sound goes and distractions, hopefully it will be kept to a minimum. It should. It's fairly quiet where I am. The most you might hear is my AC over there. It's trucking away because it is hot. Okay. Even though I got my little hoodie on, it is hot outside, but it's cool. It's cold. It's cold in here. And that's all that matters. Okay. So yeah, I'm a little chilly, but it's all good. I'd rather be cold and layer than be outside and be hot. Okay. Yeah. So I think I got all my disclaimers and things out of the way. Like I said, if I need to stop or pause or whatever, I'll just pick right back up where I left off, and go from there. If I forgot to mention anything, then just charge it to what if you're if you a returning person and you kind of been watching me for quite a while, cool. If you do have any questions, you can definitely email me. Any types, like if you want to suggest any card decks that I work with, you can definitely leave that in the comment section as well, or email me that type of stuff. I am still working on getting a wish list together, for Amazon. I figured out how to do it, so I'm going to do that. As far as all signs, I'm kind of switching things up a bit. So the rest of the signs, I think they will have like kind of a quick check-in reading, if you will, and that will be under the community tab. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but going forward, like I said, I'm still kind of figuring things out for myself. So yeah, it will be monthly check-in readings. If I'm able to, and I just kind of want to look and just just as a bonus for my favorite signs, I will I'll do additional kind of check-in readings. But for the most part, it will be every month for all the signs. But for Cancer, Taurus, and Libra, they will get a video. If I find that I have more views under the community tab for, well, I don't know how I will be able to do that, but depending on the, yeah, I know how to do it. So element wise, I will put it under the community tab that way. So I can kind of see, I can get a sense of which elements, which elements are kind of getting the most views. And if I, you know, if I find that whichever element has the most views, they will get a bonus reading, if you will. Okay, so going forward, we're going to kind of start doing it like that. And as I go along, I will kind of get a good sense of how to do this. Okay, but let me stop yapping about all that. That don't matter. We're starting with Cancer, okay? We're starting with Cancer. Sorry, got distracted just right there. I'm watching this movie and I have these not in the right way, or not in the right place. Reverse. As you all know too, I like to get channeled messages for each sign when I do the videos for each sign. So we'll do that. We'll go as I'm getting the cards out. We're gonna do that. Okay. And yeah, this is gonna be for the month of July. I'm gonna have to make new images. Make sure. Okay, so yeah, this is for the month of July. And this is for Cancer. We're looking at what Cancer needs to know for the month of July. Yeah, I had to turn that movie off because I'm getting distracted like a mug. So yeah, let me focus on this. Sometimes you can't have, like, when stuff be getting good, you can't have movies on like that. As a matter of fact, let me put on my lo-fi where I can hear it. Y'all probably won't be able to hear it, but I'm gonna put it on for myself. Yeah. Okay. I don't know, Cancers, for you, like, right, just starting off, I'm getting the sense that some of you kind of feel I'm hearing the word indifferent. I don't know if some of you are just kind of bored with certain things, or you're just kind of like, whatever it is, what it is. Yeah, it's kind of like you all kind of have that it is what it is type of mindset or mood. You're not really like, I don't know what the word is that I'm trying to get for you guys, but I don't know, just kind of this kind of like meh, you know, kind of feeling is what I'm getting. Turn that over. It's interesting. Let's see if I'm picking up, getting more insight into that. What does Cancer need to know for the month of July? Also hearing stick to your guns or pew-pews. I don't know how they are. I know some of these apps are weird with the words you decide to use, so yeah. Like, stick to your, stick to your GUNs. GUNS. Plural. And it's basically kind of like just sticking to your morals, your values, what it is that means to you. What am I trying to say? It's also Mercury retrograde, so my communication may be kind of iffy. That also may be why some of you could be kind of feeling kind of like it is what it is type of attitude. Things can kind of be like so kind of like left in the air, up in the air, that you're kind of just like, whatever. It's just kind of like, I'm not going to overextend myself. I'm not going to push anything to the limit or to the max. I'm just going to it's kind of like and typically I feel like Cancers are not really nonchalant when it comes to that. Actually, is it Cancer season? I'm tripping. I think it is. Yeah, it has to be Cancer. Yeah, it is Cancer season. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Did I mess it up? Cancer, Gemini. Sometimes I kind of get those mixed up. I think Gemini season just passed, actually. But yeah, it definitely is Cancer season. I just had to remember. But at any rate, communication and just like the communication all around you all, it could be kind of iffy, right? Not clear. People. I'm also kind of getting a sense of frustration too, where you could be kind of like you could be frustrated with people, and it can kind of cause you to want to be kind of nonchalant, whereas Cancers, to me, they're not. They're very like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're very much in tune with their feelings. They're very much, they feel things deeply, right? So for Cancers, or for you all, this collective, to be kind of in this feeling of, kind of not caring, not really wanting to deal with people in a way, it's kind of interesting. But like I said, we're gonna get into the cards and see. But that's the energy that I'm getting for Cancers for the month of July. Like, it's kind of like, you kind of have like it is what it is kind of attitude. You're kind of like, I'm not about to overextend myself. People can meet me where I'm at, or they can go kick rocks, basically. So it's just kind of like one of those things where it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm where I used to be, putting my effort, my all into things. I'm kind of not into that right now. So that's the kind of energy that I'm getting for Cancers. This could also be related because Cancer, represents the foundation, represents home, family, roots, that type of thing. This could very well be, significant others, maybe dealing with family members, close-knit friends. Friend groups can be breaking down or changing for some of you. Yeah. I'm just trying to see if I get anything else for my Cancers. And wow, we are already up to 14 minutes. Let me go ahead and get into the cards at some point. But no, no matter how long it takes, I'm definitely going to get out what I'm feeling for you guys. Yeah, Cancers, I heard the word studious, so that just puts me in the mind of, yeah, like, you all are not trying to what am I trying to say? Yeah, you're like, your focus is yourself, your focus is on your career, your focus is on trying to improve and get into a better spot in life. Like you care less about um like your focus is different. Like you're not really focused on the emotions of things, um which typically cancers would kind of be focused on that, you know, how things feel. um I feel like whatever has happened, whatever type of frustration has gone on or happened, it's just kind of like whatever. You know, you're kind of like in a spot of like whatever. Let me shift my focus because obviously this thing over here is not working in my favor or working for me. So let me pivot. Let me change the narrative, change the directive, whatever. So um, that is channel messages that I'm getting, but maybe, you know, we're gonna go get into these cards and see kind of what's happening. Okay, I'm just checking these cards out. So first things first, Cancers, you could be dealing with Libra. I see full moon in Libra, a full moon in Libra card down there. I also see South Node. Um, huh, King of Spring, Seven of Winter. Only number I see that it's could be significant for you all is number 14. Also, the number 7, that's Libra's number in the zodiac sign. So, yeah, like when you count down the zodiac numbers, Libra is in like in the 7th place, or the 7th, yeah, the 7th spot on the wheel of the yeah, I can't even talk, of the astrology wheel. So 7 can be significant for you guys, as well as Libra. I don't get any other signs necessarily. I don't know, maybe like a Leo, because I see this with this balance card, even though I feel like this is the strength card. I think it looks like it would be the strength card in regular tarot, but for me personally, yeah, this is kind of putting me in the mind of strength card, you know. And the strength card it's you know, it's represented by Leo. So let me double check something real quick. Okay, so number 14, even though it has a lion's head in here, balance would be temperance, and it's the number 14 major arcana card. That would be temperance, number 14. But this puts me more, like I said, this puts me more in the mind of, for one, the strength card. So it could be significant for you, or you could be dealing with a, what am I trying to say? You could be dealing with a Leo, if, you know, that could be significant. But temperance that Temperance is represented by the sign Sagittarius. So, hey, so for significance, it could be Libra, especially that you're working with or interacting with. I get the sense of a Leo, just from the lion's head there, as well as possibly Sagittarius. Okay, all right. Now let me finally get really into the cards. I like to kind of look at the overall thing of what's being said. All right, so the first card that you all have, Cancers, is Seven of Winter. This is there is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Okay. And so, like I mentioned before, I know it's kind of backwards, so or it's backwards, so you can't really see, but put it up to the thing. I think this ties in pretty well with you all kind of having this and it may not be for every single person, just take what resonates for you. But many of you in this collective, the reason why you feel kind of, or you have that sort of it is what it is kind of attitude is because, you could, the way that you're not necessarily focusing on what could be going wrong, is more so you could be like kind of running away from the problems, or running away from, what you know to be true, because things are not clear. Things are not the way that you want it to be, or that you would hope for it to be. So running away, or, kind of putting your focus somewhere else, kind of doing things to escape, whether that be mentally or physically, that could be a reason why, you kind of have that attitude, kind of like a nonchalant, I'm not, dealing with this type energy. I want to focus on something else, and, go from there, because this is not the move. This is not what I want to deal with, or what I want to be dealing with. I want to move on. And so it makes perfect sense that you would, those in this collective probably would have that feeling, or that attitude. Is like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. It's not what I want. Until things get to a better state, or, I have some sort of control over the outcome of something, I'm not going to be focused on it. So that's what I'm getting with the Seven of Winter. And that's how, it's the 12th of the month. So, some days have passed since we've gotten to the month of July, of course. So, starting off this month, that could be the energy that you're in. And by the way that I'm reading this is start of the month, mid-month, end of the month, okay? And these are your oracle cards at the bottom, and then you'll have your affirmation for the month, okay? But getting back to that card, yeah. And literally the Seven of Winter, it says that, I'm sorry, Seven of Winter, duh. And I mentioned 7 being significant because Libra is the 7th sign, but you have Seven of Winter, so that totally went over my head. But yeah, so seven definitely could be very significant for you guys. I don't know how I missed that at first, but anyway, like I said, Mercury retrograde. You have to go back and look at stuff, and that's why I take my time reading these cards, because sometimes things may not always jump out at you at first. You have to kind of give yourself a moment to really look through the cards, and I'm gonna do that, okay? And speaking of that, it could do you well, Cancers, if things are unclear for you, or you're kind of avoiding things because things are lacking clarity. It maybe would be a good idea to research, take some time out to write out your thoughts, to process them, which I will be doing shortly, because my Cancer moon is I'm right there. And there are some things I need to process myself, you know. But I find that what helps me personally is writing things out, making lists, um, you know, just to process things, just to get them out. When I write it out, I'm able to kind of, you know, for one, get all my thoughts out, and then two, I'm able to prioritize what is important, what is not, and kind of compartmentalize the things or categorize things where, you know, they can go. Um, so yeah, that could help you guys. I also think that goes right into balance, as well as with the Libra card too down here. Um, Once you're able to kind of get that clarity and also see that there is a better choice for you, um, and yeah, and it also says not seeing things clearly. So yeah, you know, I'm really feeling strongly that for Cancers, you guys, there's very much a need to get clear on some things. Um, there's a need to get some or gain some more clarification on something. Maybe it's the status of a relationship. Maybe, and you could very well be, if this is a relationship that you're, you know, you're thinking about or you're processing or trying to avoid, you know, it could be a situation where you're annoyed with the fact that you know, the status of a relationship, right? Like it could be a situation where you may have wanted something, or you may have wanted the relationship to go a certain way or to reach a certain level, but it never got there, or things are progressing slower than you would like. You kind of want things to kind of speed up, but the other person is just kind of like, you know, you know, I need some time to kind of figure things out. Or I'm also kind of hearing the word ghosting, because this woman in this, she kind of looks like a ghost almost. You can't hardly even see her. She's so like pasty white, but she literally looks like a ghost to me. So somebody could have gotten ghosted, or maybe you are the people who ghosted someone. So it could be a situation where you both ghosted each other, and just kind of like, yeah, that situation didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And so sometimes that type of situation, it can make you feel nonchalant. Like it can make you feel like, yeah, you know, this is why I don't even deal with nobody, or this is why I have this attitude of it is what it is, you know, because it's like you can't control the situation. So it's kind of like, you know, you just kind of have to keep pushing and moving forward, even though even though people have that sort of mindset, that doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. That doesn't mean that it doesn't kind of numb you in a way. So it's just kind of like it still impacts you, even if you are trying to, you know, maybe save face to protect your ego or whatever. You know, it still kind of sucks. It hurts. And the best way to get over something, or to get through something, rather, because it's not necessarily like getting over something. The best way to process is to actually feel your feelings. You don't have to lash out or take it out on anyone else, but allowing yourself to feel the feelings, it's still good. It's still a good idea, right? So don't hold back on what you're feeling. Just find a happy, like I was about to say happy medium, but find a way to get whatever it is you're feeling out, and then go from there. Okay. So yeah, with balance, it says take everyone's input into consideration, merge viewpoints to create a better solution, take your time, there's no need to rush. So yeah, you know, I don't feel like, definitely, you know, no one should be rushing here when it comes to like processing your feelings and whatnot. Whew, had to take a drink. But I do feel like, you know, I do feel like there should be some kind of, if you are still kind of interacting with this person or people, however this is, however it resonates for you. I do think that, everyone's feelings should be considered, you know what I'm saying, on how best to approach a situation and how to get through the thing, that has happened. But at the same time, I think, you personally, you should be your first priority too. Okay? And everyone involved should do what's best for them. So, taking that into consideration, thinking about that, like, yeah, this may not have worked out, or yeah, this may not have worked out the way that I wanted it to, but at the same time, I'm going to figure out what's best for myself, and, because everybody else is gonna, do what's best for them. So, that's where it's kind of like, yeah, I got to do what's best for me too. All right. Hopefully that made sense. And so the last card you got, and this for the end of the month, this is King of Spring, and this says innovative, inspiring, wise, theatrical. So it says a financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now, an unexpected supporter of your cause. Sorry, I almost felt like I had to sneeze. With this, I think what really stands out is wise. I feel like, however this situation is playing out for you, kind of coming out of that, obviously with the King of Spring, you kind of come out of that it is what it is type feeling. I think it is a good idea, for those who may be kind of in that situation where they're putting their focus on something else, and not necessarily dwelling on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, if you will. Then, you may have that windfall that you want, or the desired outcome, because you have this card, your oracle card is this one, and it's a win-win outcome is forecast, and that's full moon in Libra. Kind of match my nails. But yeah, so I think the big thing here is being wise, and also finding balance, like having balance in your life, especially with the scales, because scales, Libra, it's all about balance and stuff. But when, especially not rushing too with that balance card, but just coming to a place where you're content no matter what the outcome of a situation is. Like, you're just kind of like, yeah, one situation may not have worked out, but like this Seven of Winter says, there's a better choice. So whatever you decide going forward, there's some wisdom there. You took your time to assess, to process, to process the, everything before making a move, or before reacting. And I think that's always the best solution, is when something happens to you that is unsavory, or, doesn't sit well with you, the best thing to do is not to be reactive, but to be proactive, in that you kind of take time to process what happened, and then think about the best way forward. Because if you react, in some cases, it may be a situation where you have to react, but at the same time, being overly being reactive, it 9 times out of 10 it doesn't get things done. Sometimes it makes things worse. So when you take a pause, you take a beat, and you're like, okay, how am I feeling? What am I feeling? How can I get to a place where I feel better, right? And then, you get to that win-win outcome. You get the financial windfall. If this is work related, then, or career related, something that you do, like a career pivot or some kind of pivot, it can lead you there, right? Now, if this is relationship wise, taking time to not be, reactive or fly off the handle, uh, it still is a win-win outcome. Yes, you know, you may not end up with the person that you thought you would. You know, that person may need to get out of the way so a better person, the better choice, can come in. You know what I'm saying? Because if they are, you know, still in the picture, the person that didn't turn out to be the good, you know, the right fit for you, then you could miss out on the person that, you know, you could miss out on the other person. And lastly, you have this card here, don't let your past hold you back. And that South Node, yeah, very much, yeah, it ties into the, sorry y'all, it ties into the whole, you know, like better choice, better outcome type deal. When you don't dwell on the past, and I feel like for the most part, the cancers in this collective, I don't necessarily feel like you all are dwelling in the past necessarily. I just feel like it's more so like a, wow, you know, why some may feel like they wasted their time, but also it's still kind of like, even though you may not be necessarily dwelling on the past per se, certain things kind of pop up or come up that make you think about that thing, and it can still kind of drive like it's almost like a, you know, driving a nail into something, like the hammer beating on the nail, and it's just kind of like you know, it's like, even though I feel this driving into me, you know, still gonna act nonchalant about it, not, you know, not, yeah, it's not getting to me, but the whole time it's like, no, I'm fine, but you're really not fine, you know. It's kind of like that. But yeah, for the most part, guys, in this collective, I really feel like once you're able to kind of stop running away from your feelings, no matter what, and you kind of have a moment to process them, then you'll get to the King of Spring energy, the full moon and Libra energy, you know, like the balanced energy. And, you know, you can not allow your past to hold you back, and it's just kind of like, yeah, that didn't work out, but okay, I'm looking forward to bigger and better. That's the overall message, and I know it took me a while to get there. But no, seriously, I think for Cancers this month, I think if you guys just focus more so on getting to that better spot, just that sweet spot, right? You get to the better choice, you will be fine, right? You won't have that sort of like drab, kind of like whatever type energy. It'll be like, you'll be in this energy, like feeling innovative, feeling inspired, you know, theatrical even. Like you may be, because I'm seeing someone, like, to me, this, when I see theatrical, it makes me think of animated, like someone who's just like got a pep in their step, they're excited for, you know, what's to come. You know what I'm saying? You're not allowing the past to hold you back, like whatever happened in the past, even if it's just like a few weeks, you know, because I think yes, July 12th, so, you know, whatever happened the past couple of weeks, you could be like, now you're kind of like, because we're kind of going into like mid-July, even though it's still kind of early, but we're about to go into mid-July. So this sort of balance energy is where you kind of want to get to, if that makes sense. And I feel like for the most part, Cancers, I feel like you will get to this one, because I don't really see anything that would suggest that you're going to stay stuck. But you do have the warning down here, you know, just don't let the past hold you back. You know, if you want to be in this King of Spring energy, you know, just kind of let things go. Okay. And let me go finally to the excuse me. We're finally to the affirmation card. All right, so your affirmation for the month of July, Cancers, is I enjoy my home. It is safe, cozy, and beautiful. I enjoy my home. It is safe, cozy, and beautiful. And I think that ties in very well with Cancers, because you all are all about comfort, home, foundations, etc. So yeah, focus on the home more, focus on yourself more, prioritize yourself, right? Prioritize yourself, and you know, fill your own cup up. All right. So all that to say, Cancers, I hope that you have a great rest of the month of July. I will see you in another video. It will likely be a pick a pile, which I have that coming. It might not be today, but I may have it coming sometime during the week, or next weekend. We'll see. And yeah, these going forward, these readings will be monthly and instead of weekly. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to end it. Have a good day.